Where me and Izzy stand now? I'd love to say we stand in limbo. We're friends. It's hard to explain being friends with your ex-fiance because there was a connection, but we're good. We care for each other. We check in on each other. Definitely supportive during all of this nonsense and craziness. We're friends. We're good. We're in a very good, odd place. I think it was probably, it's hard to say. I want to say like 24 hours maybe 48 hours before the wedding. I knew I was going to say no. It was time that I was trying to take to process after a lot of information came out where it wasn't good, and I was set on one thing. Then this wrench gets thrown in, and it's like, can I recover from this? And it's like I had no reassurance and no time. So it was this like circulating process in my head for probably 48 hours up to the wedding where it's like, this isn't good, this isn't good. It wasn't, do I say yes, do I say no? But then it's like when I'm heading into my wedding, if that's where my brain is at, I'm not saying yes. I should not feel like that. And it was so sad because it's like, you want that fairy tale. You want everyone to be excited. You want that story of like, look at how this happened. And it was just a bummer. But I think it was a blessing in disguise that it came out the way it did, because it made me realize there are a lot of things that we haven't covered, or there's a lot of things that we're just on different pages as far as what we see as like alarming or important, or things that you should absolutely share and be open with when that opportunity presents itself. So I know I was going to say no. Day, maybe 2 days before. It was honestly shocking seeing how hurt he was, because we talked on the phone the whole night before the wedding, and it was a lot. That was a long night. I don't think I slept at all. And he was breaking down the night before the wedding. I was worried he was even going to show up, and I'm like, if you don't want to show up, I've got this. I will address it to everyone. I've got your back. It was just a mess. I think we were both just trying to get through it, And so we were on autopilot up through where we kiss at the end, where everyone's like, oh, they're fine. And there is a switch that flips. And I think he had the opportunity to probably have an interview and really be like, wow, like that didn't happen. And all of the feelings where he was so upset, and it killed me to see that. I bawled my eyes out. That's the hardest part, is like the difference of doing what's best for you and trying to make your partner happy. And it's like someone was going to lose. I wouldn't even call it a deal breaker that he wasn't forthcoming about the credit issues. There were more things that came up about finances all in one conversation. And I had asked him at least a week before that. It was an ongoing conversation. I was in therapy, and we didn't have time to do premarital counseling. And I'm like, what do I need to cover? What are the bases I need to cover? And she's like, communication and finances. That's the number one reason people get divorced. You need to address that. And I'm talking, take out all the bank statements, highlight what you spend on. You need to see what your partner spends on all this stuff. And that was a constant conversation. But for some reason, he's like, yeah. There's nothing. And so then it was very, see, it's nothing. And I'm like, it wasn't just that. It was, hey, I started a new job. I'm 1099. I don't have benefits. It was one of those things. I know if you were to get in a car wreck the next day, I would be financially responsible for the both of us. That is a big deal. I don't know if I can do that. You don't have credit. I don't care if you have credit, but like, I don't understand why you don't have it. So when we get married and you take out a credit card, if you have a spending problem, that goes on me. None of that was addressed. Not a deal breaker, not a deal maker.